Hello and welcome for the last game, finally, of the LCL finals. We are up for the full-on best of five. Faik Shorty Aliyev, my brother Emil Pualiyev. We're still there, still casting this game for you. This is going to be the final game of the series. 2 and 2. Let's see who is the champion of the LCL and who's going to go to Worlds to prove
representing our region.
that our region is not the last one when it comes to wildcards. Vega Squadron is once again on the blue side, Unicorns of Love on the red side. They picked the side for this game. They decided to go with red once again. So far, the only game on the red side that was won was the previous one by Unicorns of Love. Silas and Elise are banned away once again.
So the
Corky, Yumi,
same
and
bans
Irelia are the same.
as the last game had.
And Renekton.
Yes.
So we have exactly the same ban phase. Last time around, it was the Syndra that was picked
Aatrox.
by Vega Squadron.
Yeah.
And this time they go for Aatrox.
And that's a really nice adaptation because Syndra first pick.
Ooh, insta-lock
Kaiser
Mordekaiser
and
Syndra by Unicorns of Love. I feel like Syndra is still a flex. She can still go bot lane if Unicorns of Love were practicing it. And so far, they've shown that they've been practicing even something like a Garen Yumi.
Yeah, Inex played a bunch of Syndra games in solo queue, as I recall doing with Edward. So I think that's a legitimate flex, and she can go both bot lane and mid lane for Nomons. And Kreox gets his main pick this season, Gragas.
Looks like it. And we're gonna have Santos on Thresh.
So they skip Karthus this time around.
They skip Karthus completely,
Yep.
which is almost seems nonsensical from Vega Squadron.
Xayah?
Zaya
Is it
here
Xayah?
to get the Zyrakan.
Well, not Xayah. Ooh.
Nocturne.
Nocturne for an Anastic.
This is gonna be the paranoia time in the Summoner's Rift. Someone is gonna turn off the lights all the freaking game. It's
Draven
gonna be the
ban?
Nocturne.
Draven ban for Unicorns of Love.
Draven Karthus? Something like that?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And Sheepy even agrees with me. I think it should be Karthus or Draven ban. Yes.
Draven is banned.
And I think that fourth pick for Unicorns of Love should be support. They don't show their flex. Syndra
Yeah,
leader.
normally, yes, you want to keep the Syndra flex
Also, you see
running.
Thresh already.
And you see the Thresh, so something like an Nautilus should be good enough. I feel like Vega Squadron can only ban supports because it's still not clear where the Syndra is going. I mean, it's clear that it's going to be Mordekaiser in the top lane. Can they create some kind of a response and send Aatrox mid maybe? But Aatrox is going to suffer greatly from the Syndra. Gnar is banned.
As
And
I recall, Aatrox is mediocre into Mordekaiser, right?
Yes, definitely.
And
Definitely.
Mordekaiser can be flexed mid lane still.
Possibly, yes. That's something that we have seen a little bit in terms of
Gnar
competitive League of Legends. So
Karthus is still on the board.
you can go for some Kench, and you'll have the double global pressure from Tom Kench's ulti and the paranoia of Nocturne, and it should be okay-ish with Syndra to save her from some nasty hooks.
Maybe Seaver for next? Ah, no, they want to pick support now, so it's gonna be Nautilus, yes.
Nautilus, yes. A more
Makes
standard
sense.
way you can counter the Thresh by being aggressive, because Thresh is rather squishy. Karthus is gonna be picked by Gadget, it seems like, and the last pick should decide where the Aatrox goes.
I think a Syndra might be a good pick into Karthus bot lane. With Nautilus, they can one-shot Thresh after Aftershock comes off. And in general, I think Syndra has a good matchup. Never mind, it's Xayah bot lane. Xayah Thresh. I do think that Xayah Thresh is worse in lane than Nautilus Kai'Sa, if Unicorns Love will decide to go Kai'Sa.
That's true, but we also said the same thing about Jinx and Thresh, and the lane ended up working out really well for
Ooh,
Vega
it's
Squadron.
Aatrox
So
mid.
Aatrox mid, and it's gonna be GP as the answer to Mordekaiser. GP does work well because he can just cleanse away the ulti of, eat the oranges away.
Ooh, Camille for boss.
And it's gonna be the flex of Mordekaiser in the end. It's gonna be the Mordekaiser in the mid lane or in the bot lane. What about that? We have to wait till 20 seconds.
Mid lane, yes.
But yeah, it's gonna be the mid lane.
That already
Mordekaiser.
happened, isn't it? Like when Rox, with me, played against Unicorns of Love, they picked Mordekaiser, we picked Vayne into Mordekaiser, and they flexed Mordekaiser into mid lane and picked Camille. That's a working scheme for them.
That's exactly what they did, and that's not something that Vega Squadron anticipated. So yeah, it seems like Vega Squadron is gonna have losing matchups all around the map with the pressure of the Nocturne. This is a good 1-3-1 comp actually from Unicorns of Love with Syndra being on the wave clear duty. They do have a lot of all-in potential with such bot lane, Syndra and Nautilus. I mean, Xayah can dodge Syndra's and Nautilus's ulti, but Thresh cannot.
But Nautilus has little to zero peeling tools.
Late handshake. What?
As I think that Nautilus is kinda meh-ish in terms of peeling, and Syndra needs peeling. For example, if it was Nautilus Thresh Syndra into Nautilus Xayah, I would void for Syndra with Thresh. But Syndra Nautilus, if Syndra gets hooked and flayed, Favors can be behind her and she's dead. She has no escape. She has no cleanse. She goes TP.
Well, we'll see about that, and we're ready to jump into game number 5 of these best of 5 series. This is the LCL finals, Vega Squadron versus Unicorns of Love, the last game. Let's roll!
Okay, so let's talk about a bit about matchups. GP into Camille is early game. It's GP favored,
yes,
right? He stacked Grasp. He Qs Camille, and she's slowly out of the lane, uses teleport to come back. Mid lane, I think it's a Mordekaiser favorite lane, even early on, after like level 2, level 3. And bot lane, well, I don't have much information about that matchup, but I think it should be favored for the red side bot lane as well, because Syndra can land a stun quite easily and always can follow that up. What about jungle matchup?
The jungle matchup, I mean, it depends on how you play it, but I would favor Nocturne in any 1v1 if they are to meet in the middle of the map, just because you have the lethal tempo working for you. Gragas doesn't have a combat rune for working for him, and Nocturne can block the belly bop of Gragas, and if that happens, basically you can just cut down that fat guy, you know? But
yeah,
a bigger problem for me is the setup that they have for Nocturne, because when Camille ultis someone on the side lane, be that Aatrox or GP, I don't think there's anything that Vega Squadron can do about it.
Yeah, I think that the Unicorns of Love goal post 6 is to dive Gangplank. Is to make that poor pirate suffer with the Nocturne R and Camille's R. Good W from Eka.
I mean, it's not exactly a poor pirate, because he is probably one of the richest characters in the game due to his passive on his Q and consequently on the barrels as well. But yeah, right now Boss is just looking to trade with W because he went for the Arcane Comet Camille. This is the Camille that likes to trade with the tactical sweep. And we see Ananasic is already entering the jungle of Gragas.
What is that skin?
I have actually never seen that Nocturne.
Yeah, me as well. And it's beautiful.
Oh, it's the Elderwood Nocturne. And we see that Ananasic, level 3, he's invading Creox. Creox has no idea if this invade is gonna happen. This is gonna be probably the end of the game for Creox. He sees Ananasic, and who's gonna have the smite? It's gonna be Ananasic, and he actually fears Creox. He continues to doing his damage onto Creox. Creox has to flash. He doesn't have the E anymore.
Yes.
And he flashes away at the very last second. And we see that Eka, meanwhile, trying to help his jungler, is gonna get caught as well. Good Infernal Chains, and he just flashes over the wall. But this is a disaster for Vega Squadron already. They lost both flashes on jungle and mid lane, and as well they lost the blue buff, which means that Ananasik is gonna have full priority in the jungle. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you pick Gragas. And there is an aggressive counter pick. Even though that was kind of a 50-50, to be fair. Like, if Krax were to smite the blue buff, he would have been in a much more favorable position. Right now, Nomans, he's hunting for that Gragas. He's gonna get spotted right now.
But Ananasik is here, and he wanna do double scuttle, and that is huge if he gets that. Because it's Nocturne.
It's
you need
Nocturne.
level 6.
You need farming, and right now he has 24 CS, whereas Gragas has only 11. And I don't feel like Krax can actually contest this grab. The hook comes in onto Gadget.
No mana on Inex.
Inex has no mana, so he cannot do anything right now. And Anasik is continuing the hunt on this jungle Gragas, and I feel like Krax is not having much fun in this game. And Anasik has a smite. If he steals that big golem, he does it!
What a game from Ananasik. First 5 minutes went according to his plan. Get as much XP as you can. He's almost level 5 when Kreox is level 3 with a bit experience.
Yes, this is... I mean, Gragas is not someone who desperately needs XP, to be fair, but Ananasik is completely shutting this Gragas down. Okay, he just fears away Eka and he's fine. He can even try to steal away the big raptor.
Well,
he has
Kroos
no
has
vision,
smite.
Unfortunately, and that was a close smite, by the way. Kroos almost failed that one.
And actually, Eka stole, well, took like 4 small chickens. So Kreox will be missing experience by a large margin comparing to Kreox, or comparing to Ananasik.
And right now we see that there is the overfarm on almost every lane. We see that GP is actually losing. Right?
It's equal,
I mean,
I would
it's
say.
more or less equal, but you expect GP to win in the early stages of the game. Kreox is losing greatly, and Eka is losing a lot right
Nice
now.
use of
He's
his
like
passive.
10 CS behind. Another trade is happening in the top side. That's what's gonna happen. Doxy finally gets his ultimate, which should be very, very important. Otherwise, without the proper use of GP ultimate, they're gonna
Ananasik
be
is
in deep
level
trouble.
5.
Ananasik is level 5 to Kreox is level
Ooh.
3, and there is no way Ananasik leaves those raptors for his opponent in the
41
jungle.
CS to 17. That's a disaster for the side of Vega. Ananasik will be level 6, like after Red, Krugs, and Gromp.
I feel like just with the red.
Yeah, maybe just with the Red.
He just needs a little bit more XP. We see that Boss has the Hextech ultimatum up and available. It means that Ananasik can basically murder Doxy whenever he feels like it. Whenever he feels like it. And it shouldn't be that hard because, and even though that the appropriate response to that phrase is something like, that's what she said. Anyway, this is terrible for Vega Squadron. They're losing around 1k gold right now, but the biggest problem is the fact that Ananasik is level 6.
And
He has the hammer of Caulfield already, so he has the starting CDR to utilize his ulti, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be running the rune of the Presence of Mind that will help him reduce the cooldown of Paranoia. Right now, he's actually walking into mid lane. I don't think that Mordekaiser is the best setup for Nocturne because he doesn't have much CC and his ultimate actually doesn't allow Nocturne to join, which could have been quite a funny experience, you know? Whenever Mordekaiser takes you to the Death Realm, there is actually the realm where Nocturne exists, you know?
Okay, they're starting Inferno, and I don't think that Vega will contest that.
And you can't, possibly. And I don't think you can even try to go for a steal.
Okay,
or
Santos.
they actually want to do it. There is the ultimate
Ananasik
of
gets
game
that.
playing, but Ananasik is fine. He flashes away. Eka is already dead because he got killed by Nomans, and now we see that Kriox is in a terrible position. Gadget has to flash away because the depth charge was onto him, and it's
Double
a double
kill.
kill for Mordekaiser in the mid lane. Unicorns of Love, they are galloping in this game.
This is a disaster for the Vega Squadron. I think they should have just like let the guys do their Inferno, and that's it. Because they tried to contest, they lost like a couple of flashes, they lost 2 kills, and now it's 2-0 Mordekaiser against a 0-1 Aatrox in mid lane with Infernal Drake. And I think that Mordekaiser is the last person you want to see fed because of his R. You can't escape that guy. He will just murder Aatrox later on.
Unless you build a QSS, which actually sets you back even further because you have to pay for that item. Ananasik is level 7, Kriox is level 5. We see the repetition of that invade. Ananasik doesn't have the paranoia anymore, but the boss has Hextech Ultimatum. They're gonna let this one go. They're gonna leave Kriox to his jungle camps. He's gonna get some XP needed, but right now he's losing 30 minions in terms of farm in the jungle. And I mean, Vega did have the cannon barrage, but
Yeah,
it wasn't very effective because Inex flashed away from the hook, so he was safe. Ananasik flashed over the wall to his team, and Eka was on the other side of that team. So he got murdered immediately by the members of Unicorns of Love. So double kill, an easy double kill pickup for Mordekaiser. And this is a very bad sign. This is a very bad sign. We can speak about scalings. There is Zaya, there is GP, who scale insanely well. But on the other side, we're not that far behind in terms of scaling, and we know that Mordekaiser is just a straight-up monster when it comes to late game, just because he can shut down one of the carries. Not GP. Okay, Santos flashes in. We know that Inex doesn't have the flash. A great ultimate from Kriox is gonna knock everyone up, and it's a kill for Gadget. Is it gonna be enough to pick up a kill on Edward? No. He just goes away.
Paranoia on mid lane?
And there is the paranoia, and Eka has to flash away, because otherwise he would have been very, very dead. Finally, Vega Squadron show their teeth that they are not here just to slowly lose the game, which it kind of looked like during the early stage. Nice hook onto Edward, a poor flash, and now he has to use the stopwatch, but that's a stopwatch of a very dead man, and it's a double kill for Gadget. That's the man that we were expecting to carry the Vega Squadron, the Sharks. He should be the one to rally his teammates around him for a triumphant comeback, and those are the instruments that he needs. Couple of kills. That's not something you would say no to.
Yeah, and he's playing Zaya into 1, 2, 3, 4 melee champions, and Syndra, who revolves around her R. So I think that Fed Zaya might cause some problems, especially part with such good disengaged champions like Thresh, Gragas, or GP. So let's see, but I'd say that Drake RNG isn't Vega favored this game, because in 1 minute there will be another Infernal Drake, and right now Unicorns of Love in a driver's seat to play around that Drake.
Okay, so on top of the fact that Unicorns of Love basically counterpick the solo lanes, Ananasik went so far ahead compared to Kriox with the Herald, with the early Dragon pickup, with the lost fight that actually Vega Squadron opted to get into. Right now, it looks very, very difficult.
Yeah,
the game is still gonna be, I mean, possible to win, but very, very hard. And the Herald actually is gonna go for another charge on the tier 2 turret.
So let's talk about power spikes a bit. Mordekaiser got his first item, so that's very key, especially considering that Aatrox and GP are building some HP, I would say. Also, Ananasik already has Ninja Tabis. And again, by the way, blue side team has 380 champions and Gragas, who is very, very behind.
Ananasik is the second richest guy on the map right now.
Yeah.
Almost 5k gold. On the other side, we see 3k gold on Kriox, 4k gold on GP, and the only one close to that is Gadget, who has 2 kills, has some farm, losing in terms of farm a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. And to be fair, compared to the other sides of Vega Squadron, he is doing quite fine. Another Inferno is up, and
Boss
I'm
is
sure that this is going to be the fight that Unicorns of Love would love to take. Boss went down from the top side because he has a roam timer right now. There is no tier 1 turret, so it means that he can push very, very deeply, and Doxy can only help his team with the cannon
Will
barrage.
try to go for a steal.
Kreox, he's one level, actually 2 levels behind Ananasic. The paranoia is in, and that means that there is no way to contest. That was just the paranoia to secure the objective, which we don't see that often, but to be fair, we don't see Nocturne that often. I'd say that it's a good use. I would exchange the Nocturne's ulti cooldown for an Inferno any day of the week.
2 Infernos on a 4 champions that scales well with AD or LP. That's big. That's big, but play.
Okay, there is a play in the bot lane, and Edward is just gonna die. A good hook from Edward with the box is gonna be enough to pick up a kill for Gadget. That's a very good sign for Vega Squadron. That's their hope in this ADC of theirs, who's getting another kill for himself. He's 3-0-0 right now. Can he be the hero? We'll see. He gets the turret as well for himself. Unfortunately, the turret plates are already done with because we are just 30 seconds after the 40 minutes mark of the match, but that's enough to destroy all the turret plates. Still, Gadget, though, is having a hell of a game right now. He is very much ahead of his late opponent, but overall, Vega Squadron is 2k behind, and Ananasic is invading once again. He is level 9, Kreox is level 8, and Boss is there to help Ananasic out, and that means that this blue buff is going to go to Ananasic. He's level 10.
Yeah, Ananasic is having game of his career in terms of rogue jungling, I think. He doesn't get kills or assists, but he just counter-jungled Kreox like, you know, like Smurf in solo queue do, usually.
Yeah. Basically, Kreox is non-existent on the map right now, I would say, due to the fact that Ananasic was able to put on so much pressure onto him. And that was the source of the Unicorns of Love advantage. And, I mean, Ananasic never ceases to amaze me as a jungler because he can be kind of like, he can show very shaky performances here and there, but when it counts, in the last game of the series, he has the guts to go for an invade and pull it off. He is not stressed or anything. He has the serrated Dirk already under his belt, which is not probably the best place for a serrated Dirk, but that means that he will have even more burst damage when he ultis someone. And basically the only person that he doesn't want to ult is Xayah. All the other characters from Vega Squadron should be killed with that paranoia. And we'll see the dive coming in. Kreox knocks away some of the members of the team. There is the defensive cannon barrage, and Ananasic is on the wrong side of the wall. But he just flashes away, and that's a knock-up from Edward, and Boss picks up the kill. That's a kill for Unicorns of Love, but on the other side, we see that Nomans has to flash away. A fail flash from Santos. TP, is it gonna be enough? Yes! No! Hook is too late!
And Kreox dead! Kreox is dead!
Kreox died in the bottom side of the map at the same time.
That's a disaster for
so
Vega.
many things going wrong for a Vega Squadron in the span of 2 minutes.
That flash will haunt Santos for a while, I think. 2 weeks at least, because if Gadget gets that kill, it's a shutdown. So your carry will become even more of a fat carry. But they didn't get it, and now they're in danger, but no, okay, they just disengage with a lantern, but still, very, very bad sign for Vega.
I mean, Gadget wouldn't be against getting 500 gold off of the kill onto Nomans, but Nomans flashes over the wall and uses the TP. Unfortunately, Santos missed his flash. He flashed into the wall, and unfortunately, that means that...
Oof, bad E.
Good, actually.
Ananasic can die here.
Ananasic can die, but there is no damage. The barrel is not going to connect. Inax has to flash away. Doxy is chasing. He's slowed right now. Good push away. Nice combo from Discoteca. He knocks up Boss as well, but Boss is just going to hookshot over the wall. That's a kill onto Ananasic, a very important one as well. Vega is not ready to give up, even though things don't work out for them all the time. Creox.
Okay, Creox.
Creox is so much dead.
Oof.
I mean, he uses the cask to, like, as as his last will and testament, but that's just gonna net another kill for Unicorns of Love. 5-4 in terms of kills, but we have 3k gold advantage at 20 minutes. That's not the end of the world, but it doesn't look good for Vega Squadron, not one bit.
Considering that Unicorns of Love team has 2 Infernals. And they just got tier 1, so it's 4k lead.
And you can multiply it by at least like 1.2 or something just because of the Infernal Dragons, and we know that they scale up.
Yes, they work really well with the time. So Gadget will have his item soon, by the way. Ooh, there's a cheeky moment.
Let's see the replay. How Noman survived. He actually ulted Gadget, but I don't think he could kill Gadget. Gadget used a very good stopwatch.
Very good R as well.
The Featherstorm as well.
Nomans is trying to get Discoteca. It's a 1v1, but Thresh is coming.
Thresh is coming. Nomans has the ulti. Nice bit of damage coming in from Discoteca. Nomans has to try to ult Discoteca away, but is it gonna be enough? Yes, he's getting a kill onto Discoteca. He's gonna die by the teammates, by the hands of the teammates.
Worth it.
But it's still worth it.
No,
I mean,
why is it worth it?
it's worth it for Vega Squadron, I would say.
Yes, yes.
Because they got the shutdown, a big one.
And assist.
And assists, yes. A solo kill is always worse than the kill with assist because you get at
Less
least
gold.
50% worth of kill gold distributed between all the assistants of the kill. And Nasik is still invading. He's level 11. Right now, the difference in levels is not that great because, I mean, Creox was able to pick up some farm, but it's still...
2 level ahead. And Nasik is still 2 level ahead.
I mean, he's still 2 levels ahead.
And 2 times more in terms of CS.
143 CS. That's not something that 80 carries in solo queue managed to pick up around 20 minutes. This is a jungle Nocturne who is out-farming his opponent.
Yeah, and he has
times.
Dust Blade already.
He has the Dust Blade of Draktar already. This is not going to be fun. This is not, and we don't have Ninja Tabais from anyone except for the Gangplank. Actually, the fact that Creox went for the Sork shoes feels like an overstatement of confidence because, yes, we know that Gragas needs the burst, but I feel like in this game, you should have gone for something like the Tabai. Even though he has to deal as well with the Mordekaiser, with the Syndra, and there is a lot of CC on the side of Unicorns of Love, with the stuns, fears, knockups, and all that jazz.
And I feel like Creox is making a build mistake going penetration instead of rushing Zonias. Against Nocturne, Camille, and Mordekaiser, and Syndra, and against every single person in Unicorns of Love team, Zonia works really well. But penetration item, you're not gonna deal a lot of damage. Like,
yeah, you're so far behind. Just accept your fate for now.
Yes, and try to peel your AD carry, who has 2 great items.
Actually, yeah, this is the Infinity Edge and the Essence River picked up for Gadget. He's insanely strong right now. And I feel like Vega Squadron should be playing around this Xayah. Otherwise, I don't feel like they can win at all. And to be fair, I can withdraw my point about the Ninja Tabai. I think that just buying Zonias was a hell of a lot more important than getting anything else.
Yeah, we're stepping in a territory where Nasher Dance starts to pop off. Also, in 2.5 minutes, there will be 3rd Infernal Drake on the map. And I feel like if Vega takes Infernal and maybe wins a fight, they're back in the game. But if they lose... Oh, Paranoia and Dox is dead.
Combo that we were talking about. The Hextech Ultimatum, the Hextech Paranoia, let's call it this way, is a guaranteed death sentence. And Doxy is very, very, very dead. He didn't have the flash.
Flash from Santos, but Santos might die here.
The ulti onto Creox by Normans. He's gonna kill him in Death Realm. I don't think that there is any way Kreox can survive. He can try to buy some time. And it's now Gadget that is going to get hunted by Ananasic and Nomans.
And Gadget dies.
Gadget dies because
It's an
Nomans
ace.
flashes. That's an ace from Unicorns of Love at 22 minutes. And that means that it's going to be a Baron as well. And that was a play forced by Vega Squadron with Santos flashing in, hooking someone. They don't get a single kill, I think. They didn't have the GP ultimate because he used it trying to protect himself. That was very selfish of him. And that means that this is an easy Baron pickup for Unicorns of Love.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened in that fight? We don't need to see that replay. Basically, Doxy dies just immediately. Show us
Santos
something
did
else.
engage. First of all, Kreox pressing R, and then Santos flash hook Edward. Then Nomans just are very useful magic penetration Gragas, who just dies and deals 400 damage. And then, well, Nomans is huge on this Mordekaiser, to be honest. Look at this flash Q. Boom. 500 damage, and poor Gadget is dead. Nomans has 3 items now. Camille has 2 items. Syndra has 2 items. Third Inferno is on the way, and 10k or 9k gold lead. I think we can...
We can talk about the champion of LCL right
Yes,
now. Almost
yes.
already 20 seconds before the third Infernal. Vega Squadron can go, like, the only thing that they can do is go for a cheeky Fnatic bush type of thing, the ambush. But this, I don't think this is gonna help. And also Unicorns of Love, they don't have to risk. They have the tools to check the bushes. Wow, what a play onto Nomans, but he ults someone and he kills Kreox immediately. He dies in the end, but this is a fight for Unicorns of Love to win. That's still an ace, and they exchange 5v2. They go for finish? Are they going for it? We see a TP from Inex in the mid lane, and Boss also follows up his ADC while Ananasic is saying that I need the dragon, guys. I don't care about the championship. The turret is gonna fall easily. I don't think it's a finish because the death timers are not that great right now. It's 25 minutes into the game, so it means that Gadget and Santos are gonna be up right now. But that's the tier 3 turret and the inhibitor in the mid lane, as well as the third Infernal. And I don't think that there is a way for Vega Squadron to win those fights.
Idea, to be honest.
The idea was cool, but I think the gold gap was too large for this fight to go anyway, but in the favor of Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, so it's 12k gold lead and 3 Inferno on the side of Unicorns of Love. I see Noman smiling. I think that this is the end for the Vega Squadron in this game.
You know?
I may be biased, but like in 4 games that we already watched, when the difference was this huge, comeback didn't happen. In
we
none of
basically
this
had only one close game.
Game
this
2.
Series. Game 2, another combination of the Hextech Ultimatum with the Paranoia. Paranoia didn't even connect. Ananasic didn't even get the assist on that kill. He has the GA already. He doesn't care. Nobody cares. Unicorns of Love have 12k, a whopping advantage of 12k gold, and that means that this turret is gonna fall. No questions asked. Now they can go even further. They can set up a dive. They have the Nautilus ultimate. They can just zone away the enemies from the turret just by ulting someone. Maybe except for Gadget, because he can just jump away. Maybe you should send Boss to the other side of the map to split push. Right now they're rotating to the tier 2 in the bot lane. Edward is walking carelessly because his team is so far ahead. And on top of that, we have the 3 Infernals. That is almost non-fair.
I think that Gadget should already type better topside wins. Because this game is all about topside. Kreox started to lose a map on the topside. Ooh. Ultimate on Discoteca.
But that's just the ultimate to survive. Nomans is in a very bad position right now. He almost kills Discoteca, but now that's a shutdown for Vega Squadron.
Why did he do that?
I mean, I feel like Unicorns of Love are...
Is he memeing already?
Memeing a bit. I'd say that this game, it's more like better jungler wins rather than better topside, because... yes, Nomans was huge. Yes, Boss is huge right now. He's 503 on his patented Camille, but I feel like the entirety of early game was all about Ananasik, who was just constantly pressuring Kreox, not letting him play the game. You know, he was just running, and as you said in the example, with a Smurf jungler playing on low elo, where you just shut down the enemy jungler completely. You take all of his farm, all of your farm, and you have like 3 levels advantage
Just
around
like here.
10 minutes, and pretty much that's what we have here. We have 3 levels exactly. I mean, that's not the early game anymore, but still, level 15 against level 13. He just got it.
1 minute till Nasher, and I think that's gonna be a really, really free Nasher for the side of Unicorns of Love, because Vega do not want to contest that. Maybe try to go for it. See, I don't know why Kreox is building Morellos, to be honest. Like, to not let Mordekaiser heal?
I mean, there is
Zoni is
also...
super efficient.
There is
against all
also
this
the
team.
Ravenous Hydra on boss. But yeah, it's a bad item. And in this scenario, especially when you're behind, I don't think Morello is a
Especially
good item
when
at
you're
all.
this behind, like 3
Yes.
levels, ADCS. Doxy is trying to chase boss for some reason. He get backup. Okay,
Boss.
the Unicorns of Love are going for Nasher. And it's gonna be very slow, but very free Nasher for them. And with Nasher, they should try to play 4-1 maybe.
Yeah, you
With
can send
Camille
boss
side.
to the side lane because there is no one on the side of Vega Squadron who can deal with that Camille with those items. Right now, they're trying to hunt him down just to get something, but the hook does not connect. Kreox actually flashes in onto boss. Yes, they're gonna get a kill for sure, but that's not gonna help them a lot. Even though they get a shutdown of 1k gold, that's gonna land on support onto Santos, and this is not something that you want to see, especially when you're this far behind. This is an easy Nasher pickup for Unicorns of Love. Boss doesn't get to have the buff, which is a huge problem.
Oh,
I mean,
not huge problem.
I mean, not huge problem. It's a huge annoyance. You know, when your split pusher
Yeah.
doesn't have the buff, so he cannot apply the same level of pressure. But they don't need to split push. They can just roll over Vega Squadron right now. They're so far ahead.
With 2 Zonias, Stopwatch, and Guardian Nature, they sure do. 5
Ananasik
Drakes.
is going to pick up 5th Drake this game. I'm pretty sure that Unicorns of Love are not going to let this game go to the Elder, but if it's the case, Elder with 5 Elementals, with 3
Three
Infernals, that is scary. But
Nocturne
not as
has
scary as
580.
Mordekaiser.
Nocturne has 580.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? I'd like to see the AP of Nomans because Nomans is, I'd say, the scariest of them all. There is only one QSS on the side of Vega Squadron. It's on Gadget. But I don't think that Gadget has enough to carry his team because there is almost no one who can help him in a team fight.
420 AP for Mordekaiser. Without Rabadon. Just 4 AP items. With Rabadon, he will have like 800 AP.
It's already enough, I would say. It's already enough. We have the double lethality item for Nocturne. We have Nomans, who is level 17. I mean, if we just check the farm of Vega Squadron, you'll see that Gadget has a substantial amount of farm. But except for Gadget, all the others are trailing behind greatly. Ooh! A shutdown onto Inex. Unicorns of Love are starting to play with their food a little bit. They're still winning greatly, but they give up an unnecessary kill, which means that
It's
Vega
a third
Squadron,
unnecessary kill in a row, by the way.
yes, Vega Squadron can struggle a bit.
hook.
A good hook from Santos with the barrel, with the... Wow, I mean, talk about overkill. The GP ultimate, the Gragos ultimate. Discoteca
they're trying
tries
to
to
go
make a
for
play on 2 Nomans. Nomans is 3 levels ahead of Discoteca. He actually just flashes away. No more unnecessary kills. No more unforced errors. Let the game go with the flow, you know?
2 open inhibs, and Syndra has teleport to come back. I think they want to open the base.
I think they should be opening the base. You have the Nasher buff for at least a minute. I mean, Gadget is going to be trying to clear the wave against Nomans. There is a flash from Santos. Noman still has the ulti. He ults Santos
Santos.
away. But this is actually...
And meanwhile, the base is taken down.
That's the problem I wanted to say. That's actually not that important. Not very important because the mid lane inhibitor, the bot lane inhibitor are gonna get destroyed by Unicorns of Love, and now the top lane inhibitor is gonna share the fate. Doxy gets pulled in by Mordekaiser and chunked to half HP. The ultimate from Gragas is a full-on desperation mod. There is almost nothing they can do. The paranoia is active and GP falls into his GA. Noman still has a stopwatch and the Zhonya's. We see that Doxy is killed after his GA. And after that, Discoteca falls, and we have the winner of LCL of the Summer Split 2019. That's Unicorns of Love. They lost 2 games in a row in that series. It looked like Vega Squadron found their weakness, but it was not meant to be. Unicorns of Love stomped 2 games in a row. This game was a complete domination by Ananasic and by everyone. Maybe except for bot lane, because Gadget was still picking up kills, but one Gadget is not enough to win against this team. And this is gonna be the team that will represent this region in Worlds.
Yeah, I wanna say just that top side of Vega Squadron really slacked the last game, and most important, Kreox did not have a good game on this Gragas, which kind of was his main pick during the regular season and during playoffs as well, but this game he got completely shut down by Ananasic and his Nocturne. So props to Ananasic for this performance.
That's true, that's true. Well, to be fair, we had the minor hiccups by Unicorns of Love in that series. That was the closest series they knew Unicorns of Love had during this playoff run. I'm really happy for Boss and Ananasic. That's actually, wait, everyone except Edward is gonna go to Worlds for the first time ever, which is great. Unicorns of Love as an organization haven't been to Worlds either, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me on that one.
No, you're not wrong.
Anyway, that was an exciting series, and that I feel like what you said was true about the top side of the map. There was a lot of, like, except for the third game when suddenly Doxy kills Boss one-on-one and stuff like that happens. The main difference for me was the mid lane and the jungle. Like, Kreox showed up a couple of games
On Elise.
But except for Elise,
He didn't perform at all on other junglers. Elise was key peak, and that few Unicorns of Love figured it out, started to ban it, started to win.
Exactly. And I mean, unfortunately for Vega Squadron, their triumphant run ends here in the finals. They lose 3-2. Those were the closest finals that we had in LCL for quite some time, actually. And who better to know than me? I was in the 2 previous finals as a coach and didn't go that well. Don't Google it. Anyway, that was a very exciting series. I was very happy to cast it. That was the first ever broadcast because I was casting with my brother. My name is Faik Shori Aliyev. This is Emil Pu Aliyev. That was the LCL finals. Unicorns of Love are gonna be visiting you once again when they go to Worlds. You'll see them in the playing stage competing against other wildcards to get the right to join the top teams of the major regions in the competition for the World Cup. This is going to be it for us today. Thank you everyone who tuned in to watch, and I guess see you next time.